Look at that. Couldn't have timed it better with the end of the weird pretzel rock song, The Age of Innocence. That was a good one. Mr. David Matthew Disher, thank you for the lead and intro. Welcome back to another edition of Running the Snow in Jedi's Tavern here. I actually had to punt last week because my job has turned into a nightmare. So I wasn't able to do any stream then. So today I'm going to come back around and I'm going to get around to actually finally getting to take a look at the new DLC truck that came out. I have had enough time to load up the game, to establish that it did, in fact, download it to my machine, so it exists in my normal mode garages. It does not exist in my hard mode garage because you don't get the free DLC trucks when you're in hard mode. Boo! But I do have it in my normal mode one. I fired up my main game where I'm at 100% complete, so there's kind of really nothing to do. So I fired it up, pulled the truck out of the garage, drove it around for maybe half a mile, tested out the horn, the important stuff. Put it back in the garage, retained it away so it's ready to go when Season 10 is released, but that's not happened yet. So what I'm going to do today instead is I am going to go back, I'm going to load this truck up in my multiplayer normal mode save that I have here on my Switch, which does mean that I'm going to go ahead and open this game on up to multiplayer in case anybody wants to jump in. What the hell. It's not like you can really screw anything up. At the moment, I am set in Tennessee for this. Yeah, so it's not the best of their maps and missions, but there's a bunch of stuff to do at least, so I can kind of test out this truck, see how it does. It should do remarkably well in Tennessee. I didn't have the 605R because that comes from Amour, so I didn't have it when I ran through Tennessee the first time, so it would have been totally overkill anyway, so I actually didn't use the Super Beast truck much after Amour, and this one is like the Super Beast's bigger brother, so I have high hopes for it. I'm hoping that there is some really challenging terrain in Season 10 that'll make use of it, although I believe it's set in British Columbia, which could, depending on where they set it, but I'm kind of willing to bet it probably doesn't. It almost certainly won't have much in the way of snow. And the little snippets I've seen from people playing on the test server, I haven't seen any yet. That's going to bring up a really good point. I'm kind of pissed this time around because I was all set to load up the public test server on my Steam Deck because I've got it. I've got SnowRunner installed there, and it's a Windows machine as far as it cares. And in Season 8, and I believe in 9, they had enabled the public test server as one of the beta channels, so you could just flip on over to it, and it might screw up your save game, it might not, but it's on my Steam Deck, so I kind of didn't really care. I was set to go for it, and they've decided that for Season 10, it's an Epic exclusive. I'm more than happy to buy this game a couple of times, so I've got it on Switch, and I've got it on PC/Steam Deck, and I've bought most of the DLC in that second location. I'm all for supporting the developers, but I'm not going to buy it a third time as a duplicate for the same platform. And as a matter of fact, unless I went through a lot of side-loading hack, I couldn't even get the Epic version to run on the Steam Deck. I think it's possible to do, but I'm not going to waste my time getting that all set up. So I wouldn't even be able to play it there. My biggest hope for the multi-platform there is that they have confirmed that they are going to be doing the Mac port on it. Who knows when it'll be available. If it's by end of year, that would be awesome. If it's by the end of Season 3, that would be awesome. So I can actually play it natively on this laptop here. But yeah, aside from that, I'm definitely... At that point, even if it was available on Mac, Epic still wouldn't carry it because they have the tiniest cross-platform over there, I've noticed. I grab the free games every Thursday just because they're available. 5% of them are actually Mac compatible. That's a little bit of a bummer, including the games that I know for a fact have Mac compatibility. I added documentation. I'm not sure what I added, but I appreciate it, Mrs. Jedi. Thank you very much. Hey, you know what? Let me go ahead and switch on over here to the game then. So yeah, anybody interested in potentially joining, I have the join code down there next to the flip counter. I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed. The flip counter might not actually be needed today. Currently, game sketch. Oh yeah, all the junk that lives down below. Oh, I bet you're looking at this on the laptop for one of the rare instances instead of your mobile device, because of the mobile device, it's hard to almost impossible to find all that stuff down there. So most of that's actually been there for a while. But yep, I got links to all kinds of good stuff down there. Anyone wants to go check that out. I do have a Discord that I use almost exclusively just for hosting my role-playing games, but I've got some sections up there that would be relevant to this. I don't know if anyone knows, cares, whatever. There's a link down there. I think I've even got a command, but I think I have to manually run it. I don't have it timed. All of my VODs, I push onto YouTube the moment that I can get to them. Within 20 minutes of ending the stream, I've got the stream downloaded, and then the 12 hours to push a 2-hour video up to YouTube after that. apparently maybe you weren't supposed to do that for some amount of time or something, but I just got the updated Twitch terms of service. Nico! That apparently say it's okay now, so I've been doing it the whole time, so I guess I'm grandfathered in. Hooray. What are you giggle festing over? It's definitely Zelda.
That's awful, Jedi.
Oh, great. It was my fault, whatever it was.
That's true. Oh, man.
See, if you put your chat on screen, then people after the fact would know what was going on. Because I have no idea what I said, but I stand by it, whatever it was. Thank you for popping in, Nico. It's my fault in the best possible way. Well, yeah. Let me listen to that laugh. That there was no way that was a bad thing that happened. Just the laugh makes the clip hilarious. So today I am checking out the DLC that I've had for a couple of weeks, but haven't had the opportunity to actually play yet. I was just pointing out that last Wednesday, my job started to explode. It's going to continue exploding for the entire month of June, but at least with that initial barrage of panic meetings out of the way, I might fall asleep anyway while I'm doing this stream, but it's not as bad as it was last week. So we are going to check out the Mastodon truck. It is the Zix 605R's bigger brother. The Zix 605R had become my favorite truck because it was dramatically overpowered for this game. I actually didn't use it. Well, unfortunately, the implosion often comes after the explosion, and sometimes the other way around. Kind of depends on what the whether it's endothermic or exothermic. But yeah, the work is going to suck ass for the rest of this month. It's going to be bad. I did play my regular full 3. Actually, we went overtime. We went to about 3 1/3 to 3.5 hours of Pathfinder last night, and I was almost literally falling apart, falling asleep, falling apart. They're all the same thing. In the middle of the game, it was terribly lackluster on my part as GM, but it got everybody back together. As we had to take the prior week off because my job exploded on that Tuesday, so it didn't get to happen. So today and tomorrow, I've got my little 2-hour engagements. I think I can get through those. Today, there's actually some of the Nuggets basketball starting right just before this stream ends. Let's be honest, basketball really does kind of suck. But it's Denver playing, so I am fully supporting. I'll support all the Denver teams. I don't care what the lame sport is. I'm all for them. I'm no bandwagoner. I'm always supporting them, even if I don't care. And here in Portland, I will support the Trailblazers, but, again, let's be honest, they mostly suck. Usually the Nuggets suck, too. The entire 25 years I lived in Denver, I think they made the playoffs twice, and they were first-round eliminations. It was bad, but hey, actually making it to the finals for the first time ever, that's pretty awesome. So I'm good for supporting them. I think their game starts at 5:30 my time, and I'm going to stream till about 6, so I might turn the TV on a little toward the end of the stream, might not. I don't know. Well, we will see where things go. But for now, because I got screwed out of most of my last week, I need to check out this DLC here. At the moment, where am I at the moment? New subscriber. Hey, Bardic, welcome over. I saw you have to bail out of Sirenscape real quick because Pathfinder was calling. So thanks for dropping in real quick. Hey, look, I actually managed to get your intro text updated. I don't have walk-on music for you yet. If there's something that strikes your fancy, let me know and I'll get it added. Otherwise, I will put it on my list of things that I will not remember to do anytime soon. Technically, it's already there, but I'll move it even higher on the irrelevant list. So I'll look out for you. I'll keep an eye out for you. Wow, Sirenscape's actually still going, too. Way to go, Dan. He's got a whole bunch to chat about after his Olympia trip, I suppose. Hey, thanks, Streamlabs. We enjoy the little check-in there. So anyway, what was I looking for? I wanted to see, where am I? I think... Oh, no, that's right. We are in Tennessee. I think I have got... Yeah, I only did just enough Michigan to open up the garage so that I could jump to Tennessee. And in fact, this was so that the Bardic one could jump in and we could try out some of the multiplayer stuff together when he first picked up the game. So I doubt that there's actually been a whole lot done here on this map. What's the local map? I think that's minus... No. Yeah, it says it is. There it goes. So let's see, I got the trio of trucks built up here. I've got some stage stuff available. Nico, you need to lurk because you're shopping at frequency modulation. Well, that sounds like an exciting thing to do. Buy some good electronics for me. And then bring them to me, because I love electronics. In fact, if you find a Tears of the Kingdom Pro controller, absolutely buy that for me, and I will make sure that you get reimbursed. It's like the only Tears of the Kingdom thing that I really wanted besides the base game, and that's the only one that I can't... It's the only one that I can't get my hands on for under like $117 right now. You know, $75 for the controller on the first place is a little on the rough side, but the $40 premium just because is killing me. So yeah, definitely shot me up there. Is it? Hey, Sirenscape! I was just talking about you, Dan and Shalissa and Steve. Welcome in. Dan Servo, thank you for the resub. Oh, and we got all of the knocks as all of my first-time chatters come in. Krob, Shalissa, hey, I know you guys. Welcome in. We are doing a little bit of the SnowRunner. I did not get to play with the new DLC truck that I pulled down like 2 weeks ago.
Look at him, folks. He's trying.
There he is. His own custom intro. Oh, would you look at that? Some old Sunday scaries.
Yeah, Storm Sorter. He's the last
What the
one.
fuck was that? Wait, somebody was looking at me.
Yeah, it was a stalker.
Did you
That was
see
a stalker.
somebody run off, Dan?
Oh, that was a good clip.
Was it a stalker?
It looked like
I saw that too.
it looked like a
There's
good guy.
somebody in the game.
Ah, that was cool. I don't remember that one happening live, although, unfortunately, it's been a while since we've done a Sunday Scaries. Here, let me get that monitor shut down so it's out of the way. Welcome in, everybody. I have got the latest DLC, the giant Mastodon truck, that I have only barely loaded up on one of my complete saves, so I drove it around for like a half a mile and then had to put it back in the garage because there was nothing to do. So last week I got booted out of actually streaming. I got booted out of doing everything because my job blew up. So this week I want to get back in here. I want to take the monster Mastodon and I just want to drive over something. I don't even care what it is. I was doing a quick check on my map there to see what it is that I had or had not done. Oh, look at this beast. Okay, we're going into the customize. There we go. This is a monster of a vehicle. This is the older, bigger brother of the Zix 605R, which is the overpowered truck that you can get in Amur, where you need an overpowered truck because Amur is like the 7th level of hell right here in Mother Russia. Oh, my greeter's on duty. So, what can I look at? Oh, hey, look at that. I actually have access to some of this stuff. A lot of these... I'm pretty low level, actually, in this save. A lot of these are locked behind a level wall. But I do have access to this stuff. It comes with mud tires. Perfect. That's all I need. I don't think I can afford to do much else, but I do know that there are some wild... Yeah, there's some wild paint schemes available for this thing. Honestly, I don't see... You know, it's Pride Month. How could you not go with this truck? So we are gonna load up. Hey, Steve! Welcome! Welcome into the tavern. I'm still experimenting with calling it that. I don't know that all of this I like as final. It covers the RPG vibe really well, but I don't stream my RPGs because I have a lot of really shy players. This would be perfect for that. The guy that did this for me, I keep pestering him about doing something a little more, you know, we'll say serial numbers scrawled off Jedi themed to kind of fill that in. A little more sci-fi, maybe appeal a little more to the trucking mentality here, but we're going to go with it like it is for right now. Ooh, that's a good start. Here's the important test. It's okay. It's not the best horn in the game. As a matter of fact, the best horn in the game best one in the game belongs to Dan of all the trucks we're going to know. How can I have access to the Dan? I should go take a look at that real quick. Ooh, we got a lot. Ooh, there's a lot of stuff to scroll through on this map. Let's see if I've got one sitting in storage. I'm gonna have to take these readers off to see that far away. Got the Wolf Pack, the Western Stars. Those are moderately bad trucks. Oh, that one's got a nice Mad Max feel to it. No, that's not the one that I actually want. Let's go to... I think it's probably under heavy. That's the new Dairy Special. Oh yeah, I'm not actually... Yeah, there it is. The Dan 96-320. Best horn in the game. But in addition to being more money than I've got right now on this particular account, it's also unavailable here in Tennessee. You actually have to go to Russia to buy that one. So let's come back out here to the Zix 612H. Let's turn on that. Oh, hey, I don't have any... I don't think I have any beacons on this one. So we're risking unsafety, but that's okay. That's how we roll. Oak Ranch Rubble. That wants metal beams, and metal beams come from this far area. There is a trailer already. There's a trailer and a truck already sitting over there just waiting. Maybe what I should do is go ahead and just drive this one over. Just so these kind of ready and waiting. You know what, it'd be nice if you could carry some cargo, actually. Let's do that real quick. And put on a frame here. Flatbed. Let's see. Oh, I do know with this one, if you put the regular sideboard bed on and then you add the loading crane, it actually puts the crane at the back end of the truck instead of right behind the cab. I think it's the only one that does that. It does support a 3-slot sideboard bed, but you can't use the loading crane then. Yeah, here we go. It actually puts it on the back of the truck. That's kind of cool. That would make loading trailers a lot easier than it is normally. Hey, I actually had enough money to do that. Let's fire this bad boy back up. Should be full time. Ooh, this boy runs loud. I may actually have to turn. Let me turn that slider down just a little bit. Don't want anyone to be made sterile by their PC speakers exploding. That's what happens when your speakers explode. Let that make it. There's one of the trade-offs of being a monster machine is definitely slow. Mud tires stop. I'm feeling it's going to be really hard to make this thing stuck. I do need to remember where I'm going. This way, and I'm going to meet you at the old ranch. Nope, here in Tennessee, they build their fences strong. It's hard enough to blow them down like most of the locations in Russia. Wow, I've actually found something that's not going to climb up. Whew. until recently, I actually haven't played this game very much, which is unusual. 750 hours in this game? Oh, that was a painful. In fact, I completely blew out my suspension. That's something I hadn't expected on this. Notch on the fuel tank. Doesn't appear to be leaking yet. I do note that I suddenly seem to only have... Oh, I thought it was telling me I had 440 out of 1,500 liters of fuel. That's only out of 500. It doesn't say I'm leaking, but I'm pretty low on fuel. But we're good. Everything's fine here. Some maps, right along those, is definitely going to be a problem. This is where we wait here. Especially when we keep dropping those into things. Okay. You sit tight for a minute. Let's come over and see about the Tatra. That's an unexpectedly large vehicle for me to have dragged over here, but okay. Ooh, more visiting. Hey, Tonka, welcome in. Today is Truck Day. I think I need to actually build my own metal beams here. Oh, yep. Okay, I can. Ooh, I can turn just tight now. So, okay, step one. Step one, turn on the headlights so we can see. Step two, I need to power up the old Jenny here. I'm a little worried. I actually have to hook up to it to get it turned on. Historically, I believe I have left a smaller, less capable truck over here attached to it just to be my on-off switch. So I don't have to do this every time I come over here. Is he enough in the zone to actually power it? Well, he is now. Turn on the Jenny. Once it's up and running, I can disconnect. Someone needs to... Oh, yeah, that's right. My totally arbitrary goal of 125 followers. I think I may have made that a couple of weeks ago, but I haven't bumped it. I do have a sub goal on there just for the purpose of unlocking some extra emote slots. But I've also recently qualified for the follower emotes, so actually I've got 5 extra slots now. I gotta do some juggling. I gotta actually get some more emotes to help fill out those slots. I think I took some of the extra ones that I had, and I added them on to like the bit cheer levels, and I put one of mine on the tier 3. So yeah, I've got emotes in some weird places, and I definitely want to get some more added on. Oh, I just heard that Tonka's going to draw me a bunch of emotes. But then I also talk to myself a lot, so whatever Tonka's like. Build a middle beam. Hey, look at me. And load it up. Actually got what I need. Oh, this one I have to manually put in. I think this one, there's a shortcut. Yeah, I could take the shortcut straight down to the river. Flash through sideways. I think this truck is big enough. You can do it. Yay. In fact, I do have money. I went through Etsy to actually get the tavern layout here, and then the guy that made it had a separate package for the transitions, and honestly, I think he did a really nice job with transitions, so I didn't mind throwing a couple extra bucks for that one. And then what are they? The sub badges. Those I got from somebody else. So I've got a hodgepodge brewing, and while technically speaking, they do all kind of fit a theme together. They're not exactly the theme I was originally going for. They do work. So yeah, the whole fantasy RPG tavern thing, I think it's pretty good with, but as I had mentioned a little earlier, I don't actually stream my RPGs because my players are all too shy. So sometimes when I mess around with my Saturday stuff, I'll get something kind of fantasy themed, like when I do The Witcher. I think this worked great for The Witcher. It is wholly inappropriate. Hey, old bacon face, you're the first one here. Welcome in. Pay no attention to anyone else that you think you see. That's just all AI. Especially Tonka trying to fleece me for some emotes. So yes, I got a hodgepodge. I actually am going to be looking into trying to put together some sort of holistic package of things. Right now, I'm going through, I'm auditioning tools for building my own WebM files so that I can build my own animated backgrounds. Like there's a little bit of flickery fire and stuff going on down there. This background is a WebM. I get some of that. I can do animation. Had a little bit of practice doing some of that in Unity for some games. Actually taking static elements and animating them and making them look okay, even though I didn't technically draw a damn thing on my own. But the drawing a damn thing on my own, that's the part that I would definitely be subcontracting for at some point. Trying to remember and actually getting around to things and having time to get around to things. It's all a killer. I was pointed out earlier that my June is going to be a total train wreck at work. We have discovered that we kind of vaguely promised the customer a thing by the end of, well, at this point it's now 4.5, technically 3.5 weeks, with an extra possible week of leeway. So we are absolutely planning on taking that week of leeway, but it means we got 4.5 weeks of panic that we're going to have to be committing to. So I have got some long hours ahead. You know, it's all nerd work, so it's not like I have much risk of breaking a nail or anything, but you know, I could get DVT output. Technically, I guess that's actually literally a real possibility. I tend to get up to wander around with the coffee and stuff so frequently that I at least get a little bit of a stretch in. But yeah, I've got murder hours coming. My all things are going well sign is going to be when I can put together a 2-hour stream on a Wednesday like this. So maybe when I get to July, either we will have been dropped as a consulting firm, or we will be moving on to the next phase, which we had already defined as being much longer in scope than this current one. So we'll kind of go back to being mostly normalish at that point. Come on, Tatra. There we go. This truck does not do too badly. Although, like the other one, it's a big old 8-wheeler, so the turn radius is crap. And the speed is very low, but it's doable. Customers love things. Customers love things when they are super fast and super cheap. Yeah, the engine was a little loud. I turned the slider down a little bit on it. I still see that it is peaking up into the yellow, though. I think this one's actually even louder than the first one that I worked on. So, oops, oh, goodness. one hand to work the gas, I need one hand to not drive off the edge of a rock, and I need one hand to change the audio level. Let's see, that puts it back down right on the line between green and yellow. Is that any better for you? I do happen to have two of the louder trucks out for today's stream. This is actually an older truck, although I think it was also a DLC, but the Zix 612H, the Mastodon, was the big new DLC release a couple of weeks ago. I'm bringing that across the pond to Tennessee here to see how well it can do in things. Unfortunately, at the moment, it started off at the garage, and in order to get to the fabrication facility where this truck is coming from after fabricating these steel beams, there's this one blockage that I have to go clear. So we're driving the Tatra for a few minutes here. This is absolute full speed right here with this bad boy. It does have a little shorter nose than the 612 though, so it's not damaging its engine every time I drive through a hole. But yeah, I just need to get to that drop-off point right up over yonder. And then that will let me get the big beefy boy through here. And then we're going to see how he does, especially crawling through some of these rivers. I seem to remember that being the primary obstacle that I was running into here is some of the rivers are seriously deep and you have to take a bridge to get across them. But the river crossing that I just made with this trailer a few minutes ago, that one was one of the deeper ones that you can ford through, and smaller trucks won't make it. The current is just enough that it will start to whisk them downstream, and then you have to scramble and winch just to try to get across before you get to one of those spots where it is way too deep. But this big beefy monster here has enough weight that it can actually stick its way through the middle of that river. I'm fully expecting the Mastodon will have the same ease, but that's why I'm running today's bonus DLC showcase episode to actually see what its capabilities are. Because Season 10 is on the test server now. I was complaining earlier, so I shall do so again, that they enabled the public test server for Steam clients for the last one or two season releases, but they've decided to make it an Epic exclusive for Season 10 coming up. I do not have it on the Epic Store. I have it on the Nintendo Store and Steam. Happy to buy it the 2 times for the 2 platforms, but I'm not buying it twice just for the Windows version. Even though I am supposed to be getting a Mac version of this, hopefully by the end of the year on Steam. But I think by that point, they're supposed to have the multi-platform, cross-platform save system enabled. And then actually, I would be able to pull my 100% complete game that I have here on my Switch. I can pull that over to my Steam Deck or my Mac or wherever else I want to go play it. That would be kind of nice, because I have found myself multiple times wishing that I had my full $8 million account, 30th level, all trucks unlocked driver available for mod maps especially. But they're really only fully viable on the Steam Deck. Most of the mod stuff actually kind of sucks on the Switch, but at least they finally added it. Boom! Hey, look at that, a promotion! Rank 4. Promotion's worth a little bit of extra. This is the other thing I gotta do. This is the only overlay that I've got installed right now. I've accidentally reminded myself of that doing some Metroid last Saturday, but oh yeah, I've only got the one. I don't even have my happy birthday one hooked up anymore. So if anyone has a birthday, I've got a thing. There's something that I can do, but it's not my birthday for a while, so I've got at least a few months until I need to get myself taken care of there. I want to shut him down. Let's see. Can I get this stuff kind of backed out of the way? One good test of the new Zix coming up here in just a minute will be with the 2-slot sideboard bed and the loading crane, can I still pull a trailer like this one? So, what's over here? I don't know. There's a creek and some rocks. Seems drivable. Good enough. Let's park you up out of the way. Go grab our Zix. Wow. Bardic and I were out doing some weird scouting with those vehicles before. Here we go. Here's the... You know what? This isn't my main game. Normally in my main game, I feel weird about this, and I don't really know why. It's not actually cheating, because there's a button for it. But I can hit the button to skip time and just bring the sun up, so I'm not struggling through the dark. Because I swear to you, the sun is only up for about 4 hours a day in SnowRunner Land here. So we are just going to jump ahead to 6 in the morning so the sun's coming up. Because you really got to admire this paint job that they came with. Oh, you're hoping to have a birthday. I mean, you never know. Sometimes you make it to the next one, sometimes you don't. Oh, yeah, the sun's overrated, I tell you. Oh, damn it! Now I am leaking out the butt. That does not sound right. I take that back. That didn't happen. Oh, hey, got a spare wheel. This truck comes with a service kit. Nice. I just used the whole thing, but... Okay, good enough. I'm no longer leaking fuel, so I don't have to RTB to go take care of that. Just charge ahead here. Oh man, that long droopy nose is going to cause a lot of heartache. So it's a really bad turning radius. I'm actually going to have to winch onto the trailer just to save the 18-point turn to get backed up to it to hook it up. Nope, too far away. I'm too close. That's not common. Oh, hey, successful test. Can hook that up. Okay. That is good to know. Got my mini, so I can now carry 4 cargo slots. This is the real advantage to having that cargo crane actually behind the bed instead of between the bed and the cab, is this will make it real easy to lift cargo up into that rear trailer, because when it's forward in the cab, normally you can't even reach the back trailer. If you do this weird back up to jackknife thing, sometimes you can just kind of reach the edge and hope it'll pack, but this should actually allow me to set things down directly into it. Might help a little on this map. It'll be really helpful when Season 10 comes out. So yeah, Season 10 is now in test, which probably means it should be out in about a month. It is set in British Columbia. Renew and reconnect, I think is the tagline for it. I've seen a couple of very brief video shots of people kind of driving around just to see what the terrain is like. It's not far off from Ontario, but you don't have the Big Burn Forest in the next season up. I don't know what the actual missions are like on it. That one's 2 medium planks, which come from here. Okay, I can keep that one in mind. That one needs 4 vehicle spare parts, which also come from here. Ooh. Got my choice. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to crazy stack stuff. If I thought for a minute the 2 steel beams would actually stay put in that trailer together. I'm sorry, 2 medium planks, same size. But they're probably not going to. So I'm going to do the old bridge first. Okay. Ooh, hey, by stalling a little bit longer, a little more sun has come up. Just to give us a better look. Oh, hey, that's right, the in cab. I so rarely drive this way. You can't even see the other side of the cab there. It is that separated. New subscriber. Let's go! Miss Moon, welcome in. Thank you for the visit. I only put in an extra hour of work today so that I could do a little bit of a SnowRunner streaming, so I'm glad to see you pop on in. I had the baby challenge up and sitting on my secondary machine all day long. I think I only got a chance to pop over and chat like 3 times though. It was kind of sad. Everyone be cool. Oops, I'm caught on a tree. Wow. Have you had a chance to drive this one yet, Miss Moon? This is actually my first legitimate attempt at actually driving it since I haven't been able to play or stream, last week during my normal schedule. And I mostly like it, but that overhang on that nose is causing me trouble. It's also still super loud. I'm gonna have to turn this down even more, I think. I used to think that Tatra was the loudest truck in the game, but I'm starting to think that this one might be rivaling it. Although there's something about the pitch on the Tatra that kind of really digs into the core of my brain when it's loud. I don't quite get that off of this one, but it's definitely loud. Yeah, actually it is kind of a Splatoon skin, isn't it? I do notice that when you go for some of the other color choices, it's a camo, but they found the perfect Pride model to really show it off as the opposite of camo here. And I love it. I think if you take the custom 3-slot sideboard bed, it actually colors the bed in the matching colors. But the 2-slot here, this is a standard bed that'll go on almost all of the trucks, so I'm guessing it just uses the default skin for it, because it doesn't color it with any other trucks either. Maybe once I finish this run, I'll pop it back to the garage and see if I throw the other one on there, if it actually does color it too. Just for the visual excitement, it might be worth having to lose the loading crane for now. So normally I go off to the right because there's a path that's kind of current friendly. So we are going to put this one into the current unfriendly section here, see how it does. It actually goes straight to engine damage right there. I don't know if this one offers raised suspension or not. And if it does, I probably don't have the money for it right now, but yeah, it's good. Oh, okay, it's caught straight on that one tree. I bet you... No, hey, it actually climbed up that rock. So, okay, it's got the weight to make it through that river without any real issues. And it's got the mud tires by default, so it didn't get stuck there. It's usually what happens with any other truck. Either you get grabbed by the current or you get stuck in the mud. So just the fact that its nose hangs way too far out there and too low is its primary challenge. Make it... Nope. It is close, though. High visibility camo. Yeah. That is exactly what this is. There's got to be a fun word that you can post-pend to camo that negates its meaning. Like camo flamboyant, which is almost like camouflage, but the opposite. Lambouflage? Maybe? Actually, there is one mud stretch coming back the other direction that slowed this truck down, and I did winch a little bit, but I didn't stop it as hard as a lot of others get kicked in the teeth. So I think the all-wheel and the diff lock always being on and the default mud tires definitely give this that little edge that the 605R has that made it invaluable anymore. Oddly, it doesn't feel quite as capable as the 605. But I think it just needs more testing. It might be the gaps between the front set and the rear set of axles. It's a little wider gap. It might be giving it more opportunity to drop rocks and pointy things in between, so that slows it down a little bit more. Or maybe it's just the fact that it's an overall slightly slower truck anyway. I can't say that the volume is pegged, because it's not up in the red, but it is max green almost constantly. I gotta take these back off to read. What do I here? What would it be? Oh, medium planks. These are what I need. Yeah, I got a little spoiled by this. Not Star. Yeah, they call it the Star House, but this construction fabrication area. All you need is fuel in the generator over there, and it will make whatever you need. You don't have to bring it other supplies to build stuff. So Ontario got a little frustrating when you needed to build the 4-slot long planks, and you had to bring it 9 slots worth of other cargoes and pay the fuel cost in order to convert it over. This one, boom, all I have to do is build 2, just like that. Yeah, I am just going to put these straight on board. I will save using that crane for when I actually have to pick something up off the ground. I will go out the supposedly slightly more conventional way over here. So if I come back this way... Yeah, that's probably the way that I need to come back. I need to get all the way over to here, and then go out this way to the old bridge. The old, broken, crappy bridge. Can you please repair it for us? That tree knew what it was in for when it chose to grow there. So normally what I will do is I would go around the right-hand side of this lake, stay up kind of in the dry. But we are on a test mission, so we are going to see just how this dude does in the deeper stuff. And so far, I gotta say, I am pleased with this performance. Even my Tatra would get completely bogged down in here. This dude's just churning it up. I gotta go look for raised suspension. Hey, Tonka, congratulations, man. Let me get that auto mod taken care of. There you go. Yes, I have wood, and Automod knows what you mean, mister. Ooh, hey, that's deep right there. Definitely taking damage, but it's light damage. And the tires are good with it. That was well worth the modding, though. That was well played, Tonka. You are a pro. You and your eternal battle with Automod. And honestly, I don't even know what the setting... It's just on whatever the default settings are, which I assume is what most people run, but I swear you type things that mine automods that don't get automodded at other places. I think it has a vendetta against you. Probably well earned. But it absolutely it absolutely brings some entertainment to the stream, so I thank you for your content. Yeah, it is. It's definitely a natural gift. So I'm gonna run. I am gonna make this delivery with this bad boy. And then make that turn. Make that turn. There you go. I should go back to the garage with this dude and check out a few things. See what kind of extra stuff I can get for it. Because I had the money to throw the fancy bed, or I guess actually the average bed, and the crane on it, but I didn't look at the actual fancy bed. See if maybe it'll color code with the rest of it. And man, I need to go look for a raised suspension. Oh, we are going underwater. We are going under. Oh. Okay, this is made. Oh, wow. That got made super bad. I may be going back to the garage a little early with this one. Yep. Oh, hey, that engine is 0. Oh, it is so 0 that now the current is grabbing it a little bit. Yep, 0 out of 150. We're gonna count that on the flip counter. That is a dead truck, so that counts for the flip. In fact, you know what? You know what I need. We're gonna throw a little bit of that out. Oh, hey, Tonka is off to get a drink to celebrate. Well done, well done. You know what? The first thing that I want to do, I want to mount a small rescue operation here. I don't want to abandon all that stuff in the middle of the river. That's viewed as bad form. Especially since I paid for that cargo. I want to go rescue it. Ooh, hey, Tonka. Thank you. I will have a drink as well. The coffee monkey has returned. Oh, I have a terrible story. If this was Miss Moon's stream, we'd be having story time in the bingo here. Just prior to the stream, normally about 15 minutes beforehand, I like to fire up the electric kettle to get some water going. Because yeah, I'm gonna be frank with all of you folks. I usually just warm up a cup of instant coffee for the stream because I don't need a whole pot just to go for my 2 or 3 hours, sometimes 4 if I'm really doing stuff out. So I'll fire up the instant kettle, get some water up to about 195. It doesn't need to be boiling. It's instant coffee. It doesn't care. And I'd like to be able to drink it someday. So I'll fire that up. I start about 15 minutes early because I don't understand why, but to get water heated to below boiling takes it about twice as long as to just get it to boiling. I don't get why. So it'll often take a good 10 minutes to get it up to 195. If you're still here, Miss Moon, I have no idea what that is in Celsius. 90, maybe? I don't know, 95? Whatever. Hot, but not boiling. So I fired it up. I ran to do a couple of setup things, and then I heard the beeper going off telling me it's at temperature. And I thought, oh, wow. It heated up fast. That's awesome. That'll help me because I worked up right until I needed to start prepping for my stream here today because I'm working those extra hours. So I ran over, I poured it in. Something felt a little off at the time, but I was busy, so I didn't care. I sat down here with it, and then I wanted to give it one quick test just to see what the temperature was like. If it was just cool enough, I could take a quick swig so it wasn't over full. And it was warm like dishwater. It was nasty. I had to run over real quick and fire it back up. And even after sitting here for an hour, it's still hotter than my first attempt was. So I'm now a little worried that my poor kettle might be reaching the end of its functional lifespan if it's not reading temperatures correctly anymore. Hey, and that was my story, and I was able to drive one-handed while telling a story and drinking. It's just like real life. Once upon a time, this is story part 2, I used to have my commercial driver's license. So I could drive a truck, although I did not have the endorsement for air brakes on it, because I was driving a non-air brake bus at the time when I needed it. So I've had a little bit of practice at drinking and driving, as it were. drinking coffee and driving large vehicles at any rate. I drink coffee and drive passenger vehicles all the time. Oh, look at that cab. There's no way that truck's gonna hide in this river. That's the noise. That's what this Tatra does. When you let off the gas, they've actually modeled in this horrendous flywheel sound in there. Something winds down when you let off the gas. You know, it's the turbocharger in there or something winding down. But that gets to just the right pitch that when the volume is up on this monitor I play on, it just bores into my skull. So, you know, that's fun. What's going on with the beacon model? They're like squished flat or something. Yeah, this one's running a little low to go through the water there too. But it didn't take damage, I notice. Let's see if we're close enough. This is definitely going to be a fun pull because Pinky back there is definitely a dead truck. It has 0 in the engine department. There we go. Just winch, no gas. I'm at least getting it to pivot. Hang on, let me get the low gear and diff lock in. So now I gotta work on dragging that thing's nose up this hill. Calling it a hill is probably a little generous. The engine is broken. Oh, that's so sad. You're gonna show me a fun pull? I'm worried about that. I'm afraid to take you up on that. Let's get up here. Let's get up real close. Let's maximize our ability to pull into the earth. Yeah, that thing's definitely going to drag its nose pretty hard. I'm still making progress, though. We're moving. This is slow moving, but we are moving. I haven't even detached the trailer back there yet. I am full of confidence. I don't think this one has the good mud wheels, though. Oh, okay, good. You changed your mind. I think... Oh, I'm winching and removing. I think we're probably all better off with that line change. No, we're almost over these weeds. What? He's still crawling. Oh, he's coming up the hill. Now I think it's just the fact that my lead truck has poor tires for this. Let me disconnect so I can get in a position where I can just pull straight, not with the wheels cranked all the way over. Because I think that will help. We are just going to pretend and assume that physics has a little bit of reality modeling going in here. Seems like we're making progress. I'm keep actively winching as I go. As a side effect, I actually managed to stay in a little bit shallower water this time. That's okay, it's just a rock. You can go over that. It's fine, I give you permission. I may want to get out of the deep water here before I resume tugging. That sounded terrible, but I meant it that time. regular gearing. See if I brace myself against this really big rock here. Maybe I can just do some straight up winch action. Got the trailer in the water. That came over the rocks. I think that's part of what was making this difficult. Okay, I got his nose to clear. Oh, that's not working so well because I'm steering the wrong way. That's my fault. I accept that. No, okay, yeah. Everybody's cool. Everybody be cool, baby. Get back here. Welcome back, Nico. How did the frequency modulation shopping go? Did you find me any toys? Okay, we're climbing this hill. I'm not doing it the most efficient way truckishly possible, but we're doing it. Almost got that trailer out of the water. I want to tell myself that this will go a little smoother once everybody's got wheels back on the dirt. Oh, hey, there we go. Dirty wheels are kind of doing it, but I also noticed that I'm not turning at all. Who's stuck? Oops, no, that's it. It's not actually counted as a trailer, so it's not going to take me back there. Try not to push that trailer back into the drink. So I can get my wheels to cut a little bit sooner. Kind of hoping that they'll pull up this hill just a little bit. No, this dude does not have the good tires that the Zix comes with. Let's see if he can pull it on his own here. Okay, he will go on his own. Just that one little mud ledge he couldn't pull with weight. Wheels don't cut unless it's a pizza wheel. Oh, is this a pizza truck? If the Zix back there is a Splatoon truck, then this blue camo-ish dude could definitely be a pizza truck. This hill. Cage hook before I get to the stump. No, no, it will not. Let's try this again. Steer nice and wide here. We have just about the longest possible combo of trucks and things at this point. I don't know 100% that I've got a particular end goal for this particular tow in mind. I don't think I need to tow it all the way back. The hard part in deciding what to do with this is that one load of planks in the bed of that truck. Because if I recover, I don't want it to delete those planks. I'd like to actually be able to deliver them, but I didn't put the crane on this truck, so I can't pluck them out. I can't run the other truck because... Do I have repair points? Do I have some repair points? I have repair points. Okay, hang on. This changes things. If I can repair the engine on Pinky here just enough to get it moving, then I actually don't have to do the recovery at all right now. Even if I recovered it enough that I can start the engine so I can run the crane, that would allow me to unload. There we go. Now I can pick it. Engine! Whoosh! Repaired. Oh, I can fix all of it. I'm just gonna fix everybody. Oh, man, I knew the Zix had repair stuff built in. I didn't know that this one did. Well, hey, now I know. Just like nothing happened. Oh, you know what? I do want to do one quick thing. I'm gonna steal some gas from that other truck just to make sure I got enough to get to where I want to go. That Tatra has some extra fuel on top. I think it'll be fine. Worst case, I'll just recover him to refuel. Because I'm playing normal mode on this one, not a hard mode. Hard mode, I would have to drop some money building up a fuel tank. At least in my current hard mode game, I finally have enough ranks that I have unlocked the fuel frame, so I can make an actual fuel truck to go mobile rather than having to drag a fuel tanker around. Unfortunately, I've got way too many empty fuel tankers now in that game. I'll decide at what point do I sell them back for half what I paid versus hanging on to them for some other point where eventually maybe I'll need them in Michigan. Well, hey, thanks for coming to visit Miss Moon. Always good to see you here. You got convoys coming up later in the week, so I will at least be able to lurk while I'm at work. But yeah, as I've said, the month of June is going to be rough during the workday for me, including extending my workday typically by a couple of hours. I cheated a little bit today. Put in a half an hour ahead of work and a half an hour after, so I only put in one extra. Kind of looking at 2 extra a day, but it depends on how things go. Hopefully, I'll at least find a couple of opportunities to get chatty from time to time. Oh, I especially have to watch tomorrow, because the new replacement face cam has come in. So Miss Moon's broken avatar should finally be unbroken tomorrow. I'm assuming it will work better than ever, too. Oof. That long nose. Luckily, this pass is now open. Hey, Patter, welcome in. It's the entire Moon Clan coming through. No, 2 of the Moon Clan at least. Things are getting weird if the whole Moon Clan comes through. Oh, how has Jedi been? Jedi has been rough. Jedi is looking forward to July when things can calm back down. What's he doing? It's nothing. Don't mind. It's just AI. I've hooked up my bot so that it scans everyone who comes into chat and looks for popular followers of theirs and then pretends to be them. It's so I can scam you out of money. Except I forgot the part where it's supposed to ask you for money. I'll remember that later. something about being in the UK and in jail, and I need you to PayPal me bail. I think that's how one of the current scams goes. But you know, we've already got that taken care of. Yeah, this is definitely a loud truck. And the volume levels, yeah, we're still... Ooh, we're at peak green, except when it has to downshift. Having with... Oh, I know, aren't we all having Plinko withdrawal symptoms? I'm gonna have to install it here just so that I can play it offline. Just fire up OBS, not streaming, but type into my own chat just to trigger the events and listen to the plinks go. There's probably someone somewhere that just streams Plinko. I can just put that on as background sound. Or you know, you could spice up the convoy and just run Plinko over the convoy the whole time. That wouldn't become distracting or anything. But yeah, realistically, this week, probably not going to happen. Kind of depends on where we stand in our development on Friday. There's one of the more ambitious pieces that I've been trying to work on that has not been going well. I think we should know by Friday whether the client is good with going ahead and just postponing that part of the work until a later phase. If that happens, then I will immediately get to move on to my next task, which will get us much closer to being able to finish things that we need by the end of June. One of my other coworkers is in a very similar position. I think he's going to get at least partially working, so we're trying to get them to accept delaying the full implementation until later on. And I think later on, if we can get it past the end of June deadline, means at least 8 months out. So that should buy us plenty of time to kind of get things back to normal and stop panicking quite so much. Because the panicking definitely doesn't help. How are we doing? Okay, it was okay. It's not... It's kind of hard to tell whether it's having trouble because of the ground or just because it's snow. Next task is next task. That's very meta, and I'm voting for it. Next task is as next task does. Although honestly, the core problem that we're having with all of these is that we were brought in to help modernize a really old code base. It needs a lot of work, and I think our technical lead who went out and made some of these early promises on timelines, which from his perspective weren't actually promises, but you know, you got a client, that's all they hear is the firm commitments on things. So yeah, I think the timing on the overall project, I think, is probably pretty valid, but I think this particular phase that we're in, he did not properly estimate just how old and crusty some of this stuff was. There is a lot of it that needs to be very rewritten in order to accommodate the other modernization that we actually want to do to it. So right now, you can't test their code. You have to deploy it to a live machine, a live piece of hardware, in order to just run it like it was, you know, a real piece of hardware in order to see if things work. So we're trying to make the software component part of it testable, and it is such a mess of poorly written ancient code that it's hard getting it to that point. So if we can reach the point, ooh, hey, movie, where it's acceptable to have a couple of tests that don't actually test all of it, but at least have the framework in place, and then move on to the next, then I think we're good. I think we can get that done in time. And then we can worry about the massive rewrites that it'll take to actually be able to test all of it down the road. Overall, I think we have this slated as a 3-year project, and we're only 6 months into it. And the estimation is that we would be, half done by now, which really isn't. Okay, we're done with that bridge. We've got... Oh, this gets the repair facility up there working. That one's going to be good to have. That one wants its stuff over there. That needs a whole bunch... Oh, it also does the refueling services. Oh, that one is super important. So it wants vehicle spare parts. They're going to come from that same origin point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this trailer back to here. And then I am just going to recover back to the garage so I can go take a look at those other aspects of this truck that I want to be able to check out. And then on our way back to the fabrication facility, we will just pick this trailer back up along the way. Can't just drop it and recover from here because this is not on the way. But hopefully it'll only be a short trek back. Turn on some lights. It's getting a little dark, but this isn't the kind of thing where I'm as worried about being able to see stuff. I just have to accomplish my 19-point turn. Just do it faster. You probably can, but I'm going to say the old phrase, you can't believe the number of meetings that I have been in where that is the summary of the meeting. Just do it faster. Usually that ends up with the corollary of, well, maybe if you just worked 10 to 12-hour days instead, that would help you catch up. So that's the mode that we're in for right now. My immediate management usually doesn't buy into that. They are usually pretty stern with the client and pass it on to us that you put in 8 hours for your day, you bill 8 hours for your day, and then you are done for the day. And if the topic of, I'm going to call it overtime with finger quotes, comes up, then that will be negotiated on an as-needed basis. That's apparently what has happened here. But when I say overtime, what I mean is I'm salaried, so I work as many hours as they tell me to, and I don't get paid for working those extra hours. I just, at the end, get to keep my job. So that's my bonus. Assuming this all works out, is I will get to keep working, but I will get to go back to 8-hour days instead of the 10 plus. As I said, at least it's nerd work. It's not field work. So I'm not physically decimated at the end of the day, but I am so mentally exhausted. Today was a relatively light day, so I'm feeling pretty good about doing some of what's technically usually kind of frustrating work of driving these monster trucks around where they don't really belong. But I'm feeling pretty good about it. I was not up to doing my hard mode game today. That was a little beyond me. Yesterday, I didn't feel like playing Pathfinder. I did it anyway because there are multiple people who I'm directly responsible to as GM. I did a very poor job of it. I got a little into it by the end. I was going to cut the session a little short, but there are some vacation scheduling conflicts coming up in a couple of weeks that are probably going to have us push the game out for 3 weeks, which is always scary in a tabletop role-playing game, having to push things out that long. I think this group can survive it, but I didn't want to risk having to take the entire month of June and then also the 4th of July off. So I decided I'm going to do it. I'm just going to push through yesterday, and I was so tired, and I was so lackluster through the whole thing. We actually got through about half of what we needed to complete Book 5 of Age of Ashes, which means when we play next Tuesday, as long as I can build up a little bit of energy, I think we'll actually be able to finish that book, and that makes a perfect pausing point for us to take a 3-week break and then come back, level up, and start book 6, the finale. So I'm feeling very good about that. This campaign has been going on since August of 2020. I am still amazed at having not just a game, but an online game go that long. So I have had online games with very committed, dedicated people that have lasted 1 session. This one we've actually had very few misses. In fact, thanks to COVID, we actually only missed, I think, a session a year for the first 2 years that we were playing. It's only been over the last 6 months where people have finally started taking vacations and going away for a little while again, and we've missed a couple here and there. I think we had a 3-week break beginning of March. I want to say that's when that was. Oh, hey, you know what? I can just recover at this point. Let's save a little time. So I think this group... No, not refuel. I think this group can survive a small break. Let's see. Supplies manager, manufacturing job. Had a framed poster on his wall that read, "Good, faster, cheap, pick 2." Yep. And software development, that is absolutely a recurring motto as well. And yeah, I'm going to be frank with you. A lot of times you get 1. You get one good of the 3, you get 1 meh of the 3, and then you get 1 not the way you wanted it of the 3. Do I have enough money to just slap the long one on here? All right, let me take a look. Let me see. If it colors it, we're taking it. It colors it. Oh, hey, I've completed a couple of jobs. I got plenty of money for that. Bam! Purchased. Look at this gorgeous hunk of machinery. This is ready for a parade any day of the year. There is nothing you couldn't celebrate in this truck. Oh, does it not have snorkel capacity? Oh, it's got snorkel capacity. It's just a little on the low side there. Where's the actual snorkel? Where does the air go in on any of these? I'm gonna put the taller ones on. I've gone through enough water. It looks like it needs it. Oh no, I don't care about the gearbox. I need this. There is no raised suspension. Okay, so I definitely want the bigger snorkel on it then. Okay, let's go ahead and see what we've got in gearbox. I'm not going to sell the old stuff off just yet. Ooh, maybe I should, though, to get the engine upgrade. That's why this thing has felt weird and sluggish to me. It's running the base model engine. I need a Storm, man. That's 24K. Okay, hang on here. We can do some stuff. This is normal mode, so I can sell off these other items and get full cash back for them. I'm going to leave that on for right now. Can I get money back on a spare wheel? I can get 2,100 bucks back by getting rid of the spare wheel. I'm going to do that. Interesting. The winches have actually stayed locked, but I don't think anything else has out here. You know, I'm happy with these mud tires. Those have been doing okay. There is no raised suspension. I've upgraded the gearbox. Oh, I have exactly... No! No! I'm just pennies shy. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna experiment. We're gonna experiment a little with math. No, that's not gonna give me the way I need to go. Oh man, I only need 1,300 extra dollars. What can I ditch? Well, I guess it'd be 1,400. Okay, so much for the snorkel. If we go to deep water again, I guess we just go to deep water. And actually, you know what? After I buy this with 150 bucks to spare, that'll get me money back. And then I can race down here and I can buy the snorkel back. Boom! Thank you, math. Oh, so let's see. No extra suspension. The long bed does give you the color coding. I do have... Let's see, there's the fog lights. Double raised beacons. That's what we need. That's what was missing. There. Now we have a machine we can be proud of. Go sell some blood. Yeah, if that was an option. Oh, it's rough in hard mode, having to make decisions like that because you can only sell stuff back at half what you paid for it. So let's see. Let me go pick up the trailer. Head out this way. I'm gonna pass the Tatra, and I am destined back out here to the supply depot. I guess that's what we're calling it right now. Stage 1. Oh, hey, you know what? I haven't even bothered doing these. Oh, that's 3 planks. I don't have enough to deal with 3 planks right now. I'll accept it just so that it's open, just in case anyone decides to join multiplayer. This one needs all kinds of stuff. Oh, and you can't even do the solar panels until after you've done the beams. Okay, at least it's accepted. That's open. I'm assuming stage 2 doesn't open until you finish stage 1. It seems mathy, so we're going to go with that. Oh yeah, I had to open the supply depot, that you really can't do anything else. So those are all in place. I've got the co-op contest open. I've done those on my main save. I was able to multiplayer in. I actually did one of them by myself. I had my Steam Deck and my Switch side by side, and I multi-played together. The weird catch, in case anyone ever tries this on your own, is that you can't just have the second machine connect in, do the race with one, and be done. Yay, you win. You actually have to do some driving on the second machine at the same time. So there was some weird left-hand, right-hand action going on with that particular version of multitasking. Okay, let's go pick us up some vehicle spare parts. And as long as I am at it, it is 12:15. No, it's not. It is now 6 in the morning. Let's get the sun back, because I am tired of being in the dark all the time. Ooh. It has been a couple of seasons and several patches since, but the visual performance used to be really bad right here. It was choppy as hell when you tried to pan around because there's just so many objects in play, and the render engine running here on the Switch couldn't handle it. But I did notice back there all of a sudden I was panning around all over the place, and it was a little slow on the frame rate, but nothing like it used to be. They actually made something more gooder there. I don't think I'm going to be able to pull the trailer like this thing. Well, we'll see how things go. I can't put on the loading crane with this, I know. I tried that when I first fired this up on my quick test. But that... I'm not sure if that hangs out too far or not. If I can't pull the trailer with it, so I can load 3 slots of cargo, but not 4, and I don't have a crane to kind of hold that 4th one in place, then the functionality becomes a little bit more limited on this dude. Although, worst case scenario, I could winch to tow this thing behind. Conflict upon attachment, long sideboard bed. Damn it. Well, okay. I can at least make it move this way. I can't load it though. I'd have to have a crane still. Complications. Get the sun back. I've always wanted to exact revenge on the sun. I actually want revenge on the moon in this game. Tennessee here actually has one of the better night times. It's nowhere near as dark. Plus, they have all of the multicolored competition floodlights set up all over the place, so that helps illuminate a lot of stuff. But there are some. Wisconsin gets dark when it's nighttime. You're trying to drive around out there. Did I already go the wrong way? Wow. Okay, I did go the wrong way. I wonder... with the nose on this truck, I doubt I'll be able to just drop down there, but I might be able to scoot my way down here. So, oops. Actually, let me grab this one. There we go. Let me see if I can get up to here, and then just throw myself down the hill. Safe as houses. I wonder how doable this one might be here. Oh, no, that's going to be rough in this truck. So many steps to have to get up. Something like the Tatra, the real short nose, could actually probably do that with very little trouble. But Beefy Boy here, it's going to be a lot of like having to back up. We're going to go make a shortcut up here instead. Oh, yeah, I remember this little spot. There's a lot of rockfall here. There's one of the races that comes through here. And you have to decide whether it's worth maybe slowing down and or bashing up your nose on those rocks, or if you risk driving through the mud puddle over there. I got the challenge. Trying to fit between these two immovable poles. Even though that little micro generator has wheels on it, it does not move. Oh man, I'm doing so many bad things. Oh God, that one hurt. But it made it. Okay, we are four-wheel experimenting. Technically speaking, this is not the way I wanted to go. I wanted to come over this way. Okay, I think I can go around this little block of trees, get lined back up with where I wanted to go over there. I won't be able to quite... Oh, hey, I did count as making it over to that one. Just have to squeeze through here. Everyone think thin. Hey, we made it. We beat the suspension to death getting it through some of those rocks. But it went. Just chug this right on along here. Man, I feel bad about putting cargo in this thing because it's going to cover up that gorgeous bed. I do have a deep appreciation for the fact that normally the regular size sideboard bed is all blue. So you can see where the pink paint is scuffed up in the bed there and exposed a bunch of the normal blue. That is a nice little attention to detail. Look how daylighty it is. Yeah, without a crane on that dude, he's actually of no help whatsoever, except maybe as a fuel dump. Oh, hey, you know what? Let's go see how putting the extra snorkel on this dude works out. Total difference there. I didn't even get the warning, much less the actual damage. That's nice. So now let's put it to the real test over here. This is where it drowned out and died last time. Got that little bit of a warning, but the nose is already on its way up the hill. At least it's going to try. Let me give it the wiggle. Wiggle those wheels, see if we can get the nose to go. Oh, no, that one's stuck on a rock. That one's not going anywhere. Turn a little harder. Oh, okay, this time it's pushing the rock. I'll take that. That is an acceptable outcome. The trailer's not having it, but I think we've made it clear. Okay. So, important note, even though it looks barely different, that snorkel makes a huge difference. Alternate route this way. Less steering required. Churn our way up this hill. The performance, the behavior from it, still feels a little bit sluggish compared to, I guess at this point, my memories of the Zix 605. But it's definitely doing a lot better than it was with that base engine. Putting in the storm has definitely helped it out. Once I got some more cash built back up, I probably want to experiment with some of the other mud tire options it has. These are custom-specific mud tires just for this model truck, but I don't know whether that means they're actually any better or worse than the normal large 61-inch mud tires that are also available for it. So I'll go see if maybe buying the most expensive version maybe gives it just a little more grip coming through the river or through deep mud. I also noticed I'm getting a little more of that flywheel sound in this truck now, like the Tatra does, than I did when it was the different motor. We need vehicle spare parts. Oh, I only have enough fuel in Jenny to make 3. Which I suppose is okay, because I only got enough cargo space for 3. Given that I don't have any ability at the moment to put any in my winched trailer. Let me stop the engine for a second. Let me do a quick bit of thinking here. Okay, well, okay, as long as I'm sitting here. First, let's maybe repair that gas tank so we don't start leaking. Honestly, I don't care about the suspension. You see a little bit of mechanical difference while you're driving, but for the most part, it makes the screen shake and the controller vibrates a little bit every so often to represent your suspension being out, but doesn't really directly impact your turn radius or anything, so I can leave that kind of broken. I'm inclined to save these extra 200 service points for either the engine or the gas tank in case I blow out either one of them. You can't do a partial repair if you have enough repair points to cover the entire cost of the repair, so I can't just drop like 40 on the suspension to beef it up a little bit. It's either 160 or 0, so I'm just going to leave it as 0 like that. what I'm looking at. Oh, I thought, why is the engine running? Because I've got the generator running, so this loading area, the supply depot, it too is running, so it's making engine noises. But Pinky here is nice and quiet because she's shut down. Do I have any other vehicles over here? Where's the con? No, the con just got parked wherever it felt like. The Gorby at least got left over here at the racetrack. The Tatra doesn't have a crane or anything. It can't help. So that just leaves me with the Zix all by itself. I could use some of my fuel, pour it into the Jenny so I could build that 4th vehicle spare part. But the closest I could do would be to drop it onto the loading dock right there in the red rounded rectangle. But I can't winch directly to it, and I don't have a crane to pick it up. So I can't put it anywhere. If I'd stuck with the standard sideboard bed with the 2 slots, but I can actually tow that trailer 4 reels, I would have been able. But I didn't do any of that. Technically, I blew it. Oh well. We are just going to run with these 3 that I have got then. I won't be able to complete the mission today, it doesn't look like, because this is probably the last run I'm going to do before I got to figure out what I'm going to do for Jedi dinner hour. But this will give me a chance to run through some varied obstacle terrains through here, and then see about popping over, maybe over the top of the mountain here. Let's test out this big new engine. So we will come right over the top of things, and we'll at least deliver the first 3 out of the 4 spare parts that this field workshop needs. Other thing I've noticed is I forgot to turn on my beacons. I've been unsafe this whole time. That's why I'm going to be 1 piece of cargo short. That's a really large bed. It's got tons of extra space around. Maybe in Season 10 they're going to have some extra oversized cargo that you might even need this truck for. Well, no, this is paid DLC. They couldn't require it. But maybe they'll have cargo where the model for it takes advantage of this extra space if you happen to have it. So I haven't tuned in to exactly what the missions or all the terrain is like in the upcoming Season 10 that got available on the public test server. But I have seen several musings that there may be some particular tough points that are actually going to need the extra ability that this truck is going to bring to the table, like the 605 did for Amur. That map could be done without it, but that is a lot of extra painful frustration to figure out how to get through the whole thing that way. The 605 really is kind of indispensable that way. I don't remember there being tracks leading me around the side over there. I just know that sometimes coming straight up this draw with the mud that they've got laid out right in through here is a source of despair. That's one of my good tests, because sometimes the mud down there at the bottom is so bad that even coming downhill through that obstacle like this, I've had to winch my way through that mud too. This Mastodon, climbed right through it. Small engine damage from that nose. Just like here as well. This one I've actually stayed on the muddy side and not had a problem, so big engine and mud tires, yay! Hey, my greeter's up and running. I kind of like to make fun of it, like I do Streamlabs for giving me the annoying notices, but at least I know that my code is still running. So I've had a couple of those streams where it's stopped for one reason or another. I think at one point I set the timeout between these notices a little too long, so Twitch would get annoyed that the chat connection that it tries to hold open was being unused for too long, so it disconnected it. That leads to errors when you're not actually connected to the chat you're trying to chat to. So I shortened it back up a little bit. I haven't noticed it. But this way, I know that it's still up and running and doing its thing. So that's one of the other things. I have other plans for expanding this. Right now it's my greeter bot, but it has limited access to what goes on in chat right now. Stupid trailer, you just sit sideways. But I can up its permission level so it sees more things. I don't have mods, so right now it doesn't have the permission to tell who's a mod and who isn't. It just knows me as the streamer or absolutely literally everybody else. It doesn't even know which ones are the bots, actually. It doesn't know that it's a bot either. But for my bot to get around that, I've just got a list of, well, Streamlabs itself and Pretzel Rocks. I think they're the only three bots that I currently have hooked up to my chat. So I've just got those hard coded as, hey, these are bots, so I know not to greet them, not to waste time with that. But I can expand the permissions that my little chat integration has so that it can tell more things, and I think it can then even start to see redemptions and cheers and things like that. So right now I'm using like Triggerfire for my sound and video redeems down there, the channel point redeems. I could take over looking at those myself. That might be nice. That gets me around the real small limit of the actual triggers that you're allowed to have on the free account. So even if you go to their paid account, I don't think they have an unlimited number of triggers setting. I think you get to double what you currently got. And, just truck horns alone, I think, take 60 to 70% of the spots that I've got available. It does treat audio and video separately, though. You got a bucket of, I think you can have 20 active at a time on each. So at least the audio and the video can maintain separately. But if I could take over, I could easily take over the sounds. The video, right now I just have the audio going through the desktop audio. I just capture it when I'm done. If I want to run video, then I actually have to build probably some sort of a web server output so that it can tie into it. Like most of the rest of your redeems, when you put in the URL of whichever site is watching things for you, and then you make that a global overlay. So I would have to learn a little more code to figure out how to do that. But if it's possible, it would definitely be kind of cool to have it all operating on my own machine, so that on those days when my Cloudflare decides it's done working for the day, so you can't even talk to Triggerfire anymore, that I won't have to lose access to my otherwise reasonably meager AV assets. Where does this actually go? Okay, I'm gonna have to look. No, it actually. Oh no, I'm looking at it upside down. This is what I want. So I do want to swing out to the right. So I guess we do go up and over the top over here. So this big old nose can make it over them rocks, and actually also remember to turn at the same time. Oh, is it actually going to make this turn? Wow. I didn't think it was going to do that, so kudos to you, truck. Try not to flip sideways. Okay. I'll award you a honk for that, Mr. I guess I'm just going with Pinky for the time being. Because it's pink, but also Pinky in the Brain, I guess, is just kind of stuck in my head. Once I see the color there. I want to actually drive through the water with this guy. This is its full shakedown cruise, so I don't want to baby it too much. I want to know for certain that if I was to try to do a moor in this truck, would it actually do it for me? And that nose overhang definitely has me worried. Wow, that was really slow to stop. 3 delivered. That's a little sad and disappointing that I didn't get all 4, but it's definitely a good proof of concept there. I think that truck is definitely going to work out most of the time for me. I think the stuff that it isn't going to be able to handle, though, the Zix 605 will be able to take over for me. So, let's see, I think that's the only other thing that I've got really active and working until I want to start working some of this other stuff. But, I don't know, for a lot of these, I don't want the 3-slot cargo. I don't think there are any 3-slot pieces of cargo. So this is good for loading up 3 1-slotters. Or I guess if you need a 1 and a 2 in combo, it'll let you do that, but you could do that with the 2-slot bed if you had a crane. So I'm feeling a little challenged at the necessity of the 3-slot bed here, other than the novelty of them extending the custom paint job across it. What if I go to the next action here? Oh, okay, the next action is just to show me the task. But it's not going to let me have gas or repairs now, is it? No, it's not. I can either see the task or I can deliver on the task. I can't do anything else with it, so let's go ahead and recover back. Sadly, even the Bandit, it's a little better set up for cargo, but it's the Bandit, so I sometimes mostly hate you, you stupid truck. Yeah. This one, yeah. This is what I've run into in my hard mode play. You need 6th level rank, whatever they want to call it, to get even all terrains. Off-roads are 8. You have to be 10 for mud tires. You have to be 12 for mud tires. Wow, that is almost 12,000 XP for me to go. And, oh, I need to pull a trigger to get here. I'm rank 4 here. I think I'm rank 6 now in my hard mode play. So at least I'm halfway there, but that's a lot of XP left to go to get mud tires. And in a game all about driving through the mud and snow to get where you need to go, mud tires are pretty important. You have to get almost half the way to the level cap just in order to be able to get over that hump. So, oh, hey, would you look at that? I am right on 2 hours. That's probably about all the stamina that I got in me today. I think this was a very successful test of the new truck. I'm happy with a lot of things. I'm a little disappointed in a few. It might be that just a little more driver experience with it. And if they were to add, say, a raised suspension option, I think that would help out kind of dramatically, especially with that long nose to help get it through some terrain. So when they do Season 10, I know there are going to be a couple of new trucks in there. They are also getting ready to release some Mack and Kenworth licensed DLC trucks. I think they're all going to be DLC. I don't think any come in the base game. But that would give them an opportunity to add new raised suspension upgrade parts that could apply to those trucks that are part of the base map area, as well as to this truck that was a paid DLC truck only add-on. That way you don't make someone have to go out and buy another DLC just to enhance the prior DLC, or buy, well, in this case, you'd have to buy a season pack in order to upgrade a DLC truck, but yeah, dozen of one, 3/4 dozen of the other, something like that. Is that how the saying goes? I don't know. Probably something pretty close to that. But I want to thank all of you for coming along. Tires are a privilege, not a right. That is the tagline for this game. You'll get tires when we're good and ready for you to have tires, I think is the subtext that they give you. Because honestly, if I had a base flatline truck with only one upgrade and it was to mud tires, I think it would make this game 50% easier just right off the bat like that. Which is why they locked them behind the... I want to say paywall. It's not really a paywall. Once you've bought the base game, you don't have to pay anything extra just to upgrade those trucks. But it's behind the XP wall. And the early and baseline maps don't hand out XP very quickly. The more challenging maps, they hand out massive amounts of XP, but they are really hard to accomplish when you have a truck with highway tires trying to get through 4-foot deep snow. So I guess that's the trade-off. And then where I've always suffered is that if you start the base vanilla game and you just play until you have 100% completed Michigan and then move to Alaska and you just play until you reach 100% in it, which is the way that I played, you actually hit mid-rank about halfway through Alaska, or max rank halfway through Alaska. So every point of XP from that point on was completely wasted on me. So it was really frustrating to see all of those 14,000 XP missions in, season 6 that were completely wasted on me. So maybe you should try taking one of these trucks out to Wisconsin or Maine, see how it does out there. Maybe beef up my XP. I got plans for my next stream. But that's going to do it for this one. Thank you, everybody, for coming. This weekend is Mrs. Jedi's birthday weekend. I have no clue at this point what my availability is going to be at any given instant, Friday through Monday, really, outside of Friday and Monday's working hours. But beyond that, I may or may not be involved. So I may not stream at all Saturday. If I do, it would probably be early because Jason Bullman is doing the 7 Days to Die Alpha 21 streamer weekend special extravaganza. And I believe he's starting 2 hours early at 2. I don't know what kind of stream or co-stream or any other combo of something Dan is doing along with. So if I do stream, it might be like noon to 2 Pacific so I can raid into the beginning of Jason's. Or it might come late in the day, or it might not happen at all. I don't know, but I should definitely be back by next Wednesday. They will definitely not have Season 10 out by then. There might be a new patch that upgrades some of the issues that they've had around performance lately, although I'm seeing really good upgrades already. So I might come back with this game. I might do a little farming simulator. I might do something else. I don't know. If I end up skipping Saturday, then Wednesday could be a free-for-all. I might even catch up on Metroid Prime. Who knows? I'll do something. It'll be entertaining. Let me take a quick look over here to see if there's anybody I know who's actually doing a streaming thing. There were a couple of people I know earlier on who were doing some SnowRunner. But I don't know if they would still be on now. No. Foxhound is a ton of fun to watch. He gets so into it and so excited when he's playing, and it doesn't matter what's happening. Killer's Road is up and playing. He's a really good bilingual streamer. Gamecroy. Gamecroy is on. 100% worth jumping into his cosplay version of the I Love You, Colonel Sanders dating sim game. The last time I raided over to him. Let me see, what is he doing? Everyone loves Gamecroy. AI, the Somnium Files. Looks like a Myst-style puzzler with a little RPG happening. So yeah, pretty much I have got that or Killer's Road playing some SnowRunner. If anyone's got any real options out there. He also makes awesome music. Oh, who's that? Is there someone out here making awesome music? Oh, GameCry you're talking about? Does he make music? That would be kind of cool. Let's see. If I actually just hit the raid button, who does it bring up on the list automatically to go to? You know what? It's got GameCry right there on the list. That makes the quick and easy one. Let's go say hi to GameCry. I like him. He has a ton of fun. I know he jumps in on Urgent Sandwiches streams quite a bit, actually. He is a hoot there. Hey, look at that. We are ready to go. I'm going to throw you to the end screen. I'm going to give you a little bit of pretzel. I have no idea what VHS is, but I played it on the way in. I was guessing it was 80s music, but I don't know. Or maybe it's movie related. I don't know. It'll be enjoyable. It'll also be real short. Then I'll kick the raid over. We'll all wave hi, and then everybody can go about their business for the day. And then I will either see you again on Saturday or Wednesday. It'll be a game. We'll see. Oh, that sounds 80s. Bye.